My uncle and auntie died. The police said it was a break-in gone wrong. Both of them died, but their daughter was left alive. Apparently, their daughter hid underneath her bed when it happened. I didn't know I had a cousin. You see, my father had a big argument with my mother's brother. The first time I met my cousin was after the funeral service. People that I never met were saying their condolences. She was standing in the middle of the pouring rain. She looked expressionless, not even an ounce of grief. None of her relatives want to take her in, and my mom, still feeling guilty for not being able to apologize, decided to take care of her. And today we're picking her up from Childcare services.
I'm worried. What if she doesn't like me?
You're worrying too much. Everything will be fine. You and Irie would get along just fine.
I guess you're right. Thank you.
But I am worried about how Mayumi would take this change.
Mayu, how are you feeling? Are you nervous meeting Airi for the first time?
No.
Irie is just a year younger than you. I'm sure the both of you will get along fine. Don't tease her or bully her during times like this, okay?
Dad, I know. I'm not a bully. I won't bully Airi.
And there she is.
Airi, your uncle and auntie are here to pick you up. I need one of you to sign the papers, and you're good to go.
Welcome to our house.
When can I get my stuff from my house?
In a couple of days, the police will do a quick sweep of the area. Once they're done, the childcare workers will pick up the items that you listed. So, just make a list of what items you want them to pick up for you tonight.
Rather than that, are you okay? It must have been hard handling your parents' death. Just know that we'll do our best to care for you, Airi.
I don't need it. My parents aren't dead. As a matter of fact, we've obtained immortality. Nothing will hurt them anymore.
Oh, I see. Mayu, why don't you bring Airi to her room?
Okay. This room is your room. Mine is just next to yours. And my mom said you're starting school here tomorrow? We can go to school together.
Yeah, sure.
Well, I should probably let you get some rest now.
Thank you.
So, what do you think of Airi?
She's odd.
She's grieving. Let her cope with it her way, okay?
Alright.
Anyway, you're going to school together, right? You can give her your uniform from last year.
Sure, I'll go and search for it in my room. A scary story posted by Anonymous. I'll ask Rina to tell me more tomorrow at school.
I want you to guide her since it's her first day in your school. Remember, she's still in the sensitive state, so no bullying or ignoring her.
Mom, I get it. I'm not that type of person.
I know you're not. By the way, here's some lunch I made for the both of you.
Oh, it fits you perfectly. You look really cute.
Thank you.
Alright, let's go. We can't miss the train. You know where your class is at, right?
First floor, Class B.
Alright, I'll swing by your class during lunch. Then we can have lunch together.
Mayumi, good morning.
Oh, good morning, Rina.
I saw you in the hallway. That girl next to you, is that your cousin?
Yup, that's her.
What's her name?
Irie.
Oh, I'm so jealous. Even her name's beautiful.
I'm having lunch with her later. You can come along.
Okay. Then I can tell you about the story I read yesterday. Mayumi, you're not eating?
No, I'm waiting for Airi. She's quite late.
It's only been 8 minutes. You're worrying too much. I'm sorry I'm late. The teacher wants to speak to me earlier.
It's okay. Just have a seat.
Nice to meet you. I'm Rina. Airi, nice to meet you. Now that she's here, why don't I tell you guys about the story I read from the forum? What forum?
It's just one of the mysteries in the school. A forum that no one knows who created it. And no one knows who's posting all the stories there. It's written under Anonymous. It's just one of the school's urban legend itself. Enough about that. Come on, Rina.
A long time ago, a young 17-year-old boy was traveling. He was in Sapporo, touring the region, when he caught sight of a doll in a shop. The doll was sitting ever so perfectly behind the display window. It wore a traditional kimono and had a shoulder-length haircut. The boy was in awe and immediately decided to use the remaining of his money to buy the doll. When the boy came back from his trip, he gave the doll to his 2-year-old sister. The little girl instantly fell in love with the doll, and it became her best friend. They did everything together, and eventually, the girl gave the doll a name. The name she gave the doll was her own name. The doll was a mirror of her own self. And then, one day, tragedy struck and the girl fell sick. Unfortunately, the little girl didn't make it. The devastated family tried to bury the doll along with their daughter. But it wasn't allowed, so the request was denied. It was after this incident that the family discovered the doll's hair was growing. I heard the doll is now being kept in a shrine.
They even had people examine it, and they proved it was human hair. Oh yeah, did you know visitors can see the doll for themselves at that shrine? Isn't that cool? Let's go together someday!
That's just creepy. Enough scary stories for today, Rina. We should finish our lunch and head back before the bell rings.
Before we end the class for today, I'd like to inform you that our annual camping trip is just around the corner. The first year students will be joining us as usual. That's all. Just make sure you hand in the parents' consent form before the date.
Okay. Irie?
Are you joining the annual camp?
Of course, I joined last year during my first year. You should join. It's only us, second and first year students. The third years can't join. They need to focus on their studies.
Are we allowed to bring whatever we want?
Well, as long as it's something small. As long as the teachers don't find it, I'm sure it's fine. What are you bringing anyway?
My parents.
Huh? What is she talking about? I see.
It's true, you know. About the story Rina told us earlier. And my parents are dead, you know. They're with me for all eternity. Family are supposed to stick together, right? We should get going, or we're gonna miss the train.
She's creeping me out. We're home.
No answer. Is she out?
No, she's never out of the house during this time of the day. She must be in the house somewhere. Why don't you go to your room first? I'll check on my mom.
Understood.
As I walked around searching for Mom, I heard faint sobbing coming from Mom and Dad's room. Is she crying? Mom? Are you okay? Are you okay?
You're home. I'm sorry I wasn't outside to greet you and Airi.
Were you crying?
No, that's not it. I was cutting onions earlier for the stew I was making. And talking about stew, I should probably go back to the kitchen.
Something is wrong. Mom's phone? A message from Dad? Come to think of it, Dad has been coming home late lately. Sometimes he doesn't even come home. And the last time we all had a proper family dinner. The only time I really saw Dad was on the day of the funeral. And then yesterday when we went to pick Irie up. I'm thinking too much. He's just busy.
Family are supposed to stick together, right?
Yeah. Family are supposed to stick together. eyes are still red. She was definitely crying earlier.
You haven't taken a shower yet? Dinner will be ready soon. I'm baking something too. Remember you told me you wanted to try pie before? I hope you're looking forward to it.
Oh, yeah, I am. Thanks.
By the way, Irie told me about the annual camping trip. You can leave your form on the table. I'll sign for you.
Okay. In the end, Dad didn't come home for dinner. When I asked about it, Mom, is Dad coming home late again?
I'm not so sure, Mayu.
You're not sure? We haven't had dinner together in a while now.
Your dad is very busy, Mayu. We shouldn't bother him so much.
Something is going on with my family.
My parents are just like yours too before they found eternal happiness.
I locked the door. How did you?
My parents unlocked it for me. They wanted me to help you realize. Help you get your eternal happiness. Family's supposed to stick together. A child is a parent's responsibility. My parents didn't think of it that way. They wanted to split up. So when I read Okiku's legend, it made me realize a doll can be a vessel. If my parents can't move, they won't split up. We'll stay together. Of course I had my doubts, but I was desperate to keep my family together. But I was worrying for nothing. It works like wonder. Trust me, Mayu. We're family, right? And families stick together. Let me fix you, Mayumi. I will fix you.
That night, I saved my family. We will be together for all eternity. We'll be taking our leave now. The camp starts today, so I won't be able to see you until it ends.
My parents are following me, so you don't have to worry. Mayu will be alright.
You can try to get used to your new forms. Once we've informed the police, we'll go back to being a normal family. We'll finally be that happy family that we always wanted to be.
Bodies of 2 adults were discovered stitched together after a week. The bodies of the victims has been identified as parents to a 16-year-old high school girl. The incident was reported by the victim's daughter after she had returned home from a school trip. The weapon used in the incident have been retrieved. However, no fingerprints were found. The authorities are now asking civilians to come forward if they have seen or heard anything.
Gosh, isn't that the parents that took care of Airi? Poor Airi. She lost her parents and now she lost her uncle and auntie. And that other child, Mayumi, she must be devastated. You are in charge of both of the girls, right? How are they holding up?
Well, it might seem strange, but they seem happier. The trauma must have hit them pretty hard for them to become like that.